name is Douglas Lim. I'm a stand-up comedian. I kind of founded the MACC, the Malaysian Association of Chinese Comedians, with Chi Ho and Jenhan. Just to be very clear, it is not a real association. We are not registered with the ROS. We don't have AGM or elections. Also, in other words, you cannot join lah. Okay, don't leave messages on my Facebook asking whether or not you can join MACC. You can't. But it's just it's a title we use when we get together to perform a stand-up comedy show. So at the moment, it's myself, Kuah Jenhan, Phoon Chi Ho, and Jason Leong. They're kids because I think, well, Jenhan is 10 years younger than me. Jason and Chi Ho are about 6 years younger than me. The impression a lot of people get is that I've been doing stand-up a lot longer than the rest of them, which is actually not true. Actually, Chi Ho started doing stand-up before me. I think even at the time, Jenhan might have started before me, so because I was a comic actor. I was acting in comedy shows for Kopitiam, and even in the Homecoming, which is a comedy based. A lot of the comic roles were given to me, so I did comedy roles. After that, my progression from there was MC uni. So I was being a humorous MC, but I didn't step into stand up until about 2008, 2009 properly. How we met was there was this thing in Actor Studio Bangsa at the time before it closed down, and the Comeback Kings were organising some form of stand-up open mic like that, and that consisted of Chi Ho and his friends, and then Jenhan also performed at that one. So I was there and I said, hey, you know, we're doing a bit of corporate shows here and there. You want to try and do a public show, and then maybe this can be like a place where we can, number one, practice our material to go and do a corporate, and number two, as a means to maybe advertise ourselves to people who are not working in corporations yet. So they are just students or people, you know, younger ones, family. They go and watch. They like. Then maybe they can later, when they work in a corporation, they can tell, you know, they can tell their bosses to hire us later. So it's an investment or advertising. And so that's how we met and started talking. Next thing you know, this is our 5th show. I don't think we can classify so easily. It depends from show to show. Sometimes Jason can come out really strong, and we will say that's his strength, his energy. Jason's got amazing energy. But sometimes it can border on being a bit too in your face. If it's, let's say, an afternoon audience where people are maybe a bit more delicate, who knows, you know? Or maybe just finished, it's Sunday afternoon, Saturday night had major party, so they're a bit delicate, no. Jason can come on then as being too in your face, you know, that way. And so, is that a strength or a weakness? So we don't know. You can't really classify. Jenhan obviously has he's got a very amiable nature. He's got a very, what Chinese people call is yap ngok, where his face is so friendly, and you wanna just help him. And if he shows up, you will open your door and ask him to come in. You know, that's sort of a very amiable personality. And Chi Ho looks like a pedophile, you see. So he does, yeah. So you know, his strength is making sure that our show only mature audience come and watch, and not children who may be scared off. You know, I guess I'm more. I just do joke about observation, and because I'm a bit older than them, so I can speak from a point of authority. Because I have experienced a bit more, I have lived a bit longer. I will encourage them to write, because that's what I do. I write, and I don't write points. I mean you write the entire dialogue. So you write a transcript almost. It's spoken discourse, but in written form. And because when you write, you can actually see where your joke is. You can anticipate where the laugh is. And you can see if you've gone maybe 4 lines with no laugh attempt, then maybe you need to cut those 4 lines into one, or insert something in between. to make sure you get a bit of laugh, or an attempt, like just attempt at a laugh, you know. So I just asked him to read it out, but because as comics we can't know, we can see what was going to happen on stage, how you're going to perform on stage. I just read it out, and then we can discuss. Oh, maybe we can try here. Maybe we can do this. You can cut here. I don't think your observation is correct. I think your premise is a bit faulty. Maybe you need more examples. Maybe your first two toppers are good, but your third topper is not so good. I think you can have a callback here, because based on what you said earlier. Unless or if you switch this bit towards the end, you get a nice strong ending. Things like that, we will discuss. But a lot of it is practicing on your own. I would practice on my own. I mean, I would I write a day, then I print out, then take like another paper and cover. Like last time study for exam like that. You cover then you try and remember lah. It's remembering the links is the hardest. I would use any way to cheat, any advantage I can take. Like you've been to a lot of the MACC shows. Do you know why there is a pre-show video reel? Have you seen that in other shows?
Yes, I have. Especially the Internal Affairs. I remember that one.
Yeah, they are pre-show videos. So like some of these videos, they have us acting in some of our sketches. What it does is it introduces the audience, those who don't know who we are, those who are first time. These are the guys that are coming on later. So you immediately are like, okay, friendly face. We don't have to go on stage and then start impressing you. You've already kind of seen what we've done before.
It's a warm-up thing.
Yeah, and also it's priming. You prime the audience. The moment you step in, it's laughter. You hear laughter and laughter and laughter, and you're there and you're watching and you're laughing and you're laughing. And I prime. And in other words, look, when we come on, whatever we say, our objective is that. Laughter. That's our objective. In corporate shows, I would control lighting, I would control when the food comes out, or not to have any service whatsoever. When I come on, if it's a drinking event, if it's not a drinking event, where is the final lucky draw? I will try and put that after me. What performance is happening before me? I will control all of that to cope with my stage fright. In other words, make myself busy before that, so that I don't. Because yes, I still get nervous. Oh, we would come down. We'd have poster signing, so we can make a bit more money.
And like
meet people, yeah, and take pictures and everything. And after that, we usually just go and have a bite, and then talk about what happened, which part we thought went well. Then we start rating the audience. We're like, oh, I think today's audience, right? I think very young. And like we make statements that are absolute nonsense sometimes, with no empirical evidence, with no like study done. I think today's audience are mainly older people who actually were educated overseas. Like I think
you know that.
Nobody knows, but we like to talk lah. So we just make assumption. I think today's audience a lot of them free one. I think a lot of them just accompanied friends. Become, yeah. I think today a lot of audience, I think all Jenhan's fans, I think all the young girls, I think all the Jenhan fans, a few young boys as well. Simply we just chit chat, and then usually after that, I like playing computer games. I was going to play computer games.
You do still get the adrenaline rush.
Yeah. Very long one. Yeah. You can try and force yourself to sleep, it won't work. I wouldn't know what is lacking, but I would address the fact that Malaysians, being the way we are, a very, in a sense, forgiving lot, a very easily pleased lot. So the standard of our productions cannot and will not improve, or will improve very slowly, if the audience just accepts and shows up for the next show, even if you did badly in the last show. I see that in a lot of productions where either Malaysians watch it because we have no other choice, because there's no competing show or form of entertainment in the same language from another more established country. Unlike English shows here, where you try and do an English show here, you get smashed by the English and the Americans. Because look, we don't just get American sitcoms in this country, we get the best American sitcoms in this country. There are a lot of lousy ones we don't see, and even then their production quality better than us. Yeah. And why? Because they got the budget, they got time, they got the market lah. Yeah. So at the moment, even in theatre here, now I've been in theatre productions which are big, by standards. But you look at it and you're like, there's no way this is good enough. impression that they have of stand-up comedians that we're making stuff up as we go along. It's spontaneous, it's witty and all. That is what we need. That is the persona that we need the audience to think of, the impression that they must have of us. So then they are invested and they listen, you know, because they think it's so amazing. It's not just funny, it's amazing. You know? The amount of work that happens before that, I'd rather you not know. Because yeah, it'll spoil. But what I like some people to understand is that jokes don't come fully formed. If you attend every show of mine, you will not hear new jokes all the time, because a lot of jokes go through a period of reworking. So a joke will be told in this show, and then it will be reworked in another show. It will be reworked before it becomes so-called the final article, which may retain 50% of of the original when it first came out. So a lot of people now who watch comedy and go out and watch comedy, and I understand when you get disappointed because here before. But if you've attended every show, how there is no chance for where are these jokes coming from? But I'm not saying don't attend my show. But maybe understand that it takes time. We were right. But a joke goes through phases. It will not be different in the sense that the genre is exactly the same. It is still 4 comedians, and we will not be on stage together doing a sketch. It will be 4 comedians, one by one, doing our material. The difference will be obviously the material from the other shows. If you're talking about Romance of the Four Kingdoms or 3.5 Men or Internal Affairs. But because you must understand, this is Planet of the Apeks Rises Again. We did perform Planet of the Apeks in February. So if you watch the show in February, you will get 80% same material. There'll be 20% new material because, well, stuff has happened since February. A lot of fairly important stuff has happened in Malaysia. We will incorporate that into our jokes, or fix it or update our jokes. But if your memory is very good, then maybe you want to give the show a miss if you watch the one in February. The reason why we stage the same shows a year is because we have found out that a lot of people cannot attend either one because they're not in the country, or because one is in Chinese New Year, so some Chinese are not around yet. And usually we do the next one is normally towards the Hari Raya Puasa time, so that the Chinese will be around they can watch and invite, and vice versa. It's mainly for people who didn't watch the first time or who watched it, poor memory. Just remember that they had a good time and want to experience it again.